Today we are going to continue with semiconductors. We will talk about the forward biasing which is used in rectifiers in today's video. This is the IV characteristics of the PN junction diode which we saw earlier. This part is the forward bias, this is the knee voltage, this is the reverse bias characteristic, that's the Zener breakdown or the avalanche breakdown and the reverse breakdown voltage. Rectifiers work in the forward bias mode of a PN junction diode. Rectifiers converts AC current to DC current. Now let us see how it is used as a half-wave rectifier. The circuit in which half-wave of an input AC voltage is converted into DC voltage is called half-wave rectifier. Now this is a step-down transformer. PP dash are the primary windings of the transformer. SS dash are the secondary windings. The input AC voltage which is to be rectified is applied to the primary windings of the transformer. And the secondary windings of the transformer are connected to a PN junction diode through a load resistance RL. The output is unidirectional. The output is taken across RL. During the positive half cycle of the input AC voltage, PN junction diode is in the forward bias condition. Hence, there is flow of electric current through the junction. Therefore, the output voltage available across RL is VO is equal to I into R. During the negative half cycle of the input AC voltage, PN junction diode is reversed bias. Hence, there is no flow of electric current through the junction and resistor. Hence, the output voltage across RL is 0. Again, during the positive half cycle, there is output. Negative half cycle, there is no output. Again, it repeats. Thus, by using one PN junction diode, half the cycle of the input AC voltage is converted to DC voltage. Hence, it is called as half-wave rectifier. Now, let us see the use of PN junction diode as a full-wave rectifier. A circuit in which full wave of the input AC voltage is converted to DC voltage is called full wave rectifier. Now this is our center tapped transformer, the step down transformer. PP dash is again the primary windings, SS dash are the secondary windings of the transformer. The input AC voltage to be rectified is applied to the primary windings of the center tap transformer. The secondary windings of the transformer are connected to anodes of the diode D1 and D2. The load resistance RL is connected to tap C of the transformer and the common cathode K of the diode D1 and D2. Voltage is taken across RL. So that's the direction of the flow. It's again unidirectional flow. That's the DC output. So what do we see? During the positive half cycle of the input AC voltage, diode D1 will be forward bias condition. So you have diode D1 forward bias, so there is output. Then diode D2 is reverse bias condition, thus diode D1 conducts, D2 does not conduct. Current flows through the resistance RL from V, thus the output voltage RL is VO is equal to ILRL. During the negative half cycle of the input AC voltage, diode D1 will be in reverse bias condition, but the diode D2 will be in forward bias. Thus, diode D2 conducts, diode D1 does not conduct. Electric current flows through the diode D2 and the load RL from the point A. Hence, output voltage RL across RL is what? IL into RL. This process repeats again and again, and this is how you get the DC voltage. So both the half the cycles of the input voltage of one diode conducts and current IL through the load resistance. Hence unidirectional flow of current is there. Full wave of the AC cycle is converted to DC voltage. Hence it is called as the full wave rectifier. Now let us see the advantages of a full wave rectifier. It is more efficient than a half wave rectifier. During both the cycles, rectification occurs. The output of full wave rectifier has less ripples than the output of half wave rectifier. Now what are these ripples? A rectifier is better if the ripples are less, it is said. A small fraction of AC component along with the DC output voltage is known as a ripple. Ripple factor is given as a ratio of the RMS value of the AC component to the value of the DC component. Now, how are these filters done? Using the filter circuits, we make it more rectified, right? The AC component is removed. So, filter circuit helps to remove the ripple from the output of the rectifier. So, this is the normal DC voltage that we get from a full wave rectifier, and using filters, we will still more make it better. Now, let's see how does this take place. Using a capacitor filter, we can filter it out. So that's the rectifier, the block diagram of the rectifier which we just now studied. This is the AC input that we have over here. The pulsating DC output comes out to the rectifier. We connect a capacitor filter here, and the moment we connect a capacitor here, our output becomes filtered like this. So it is more near the perfect DC output. So after quarter cycle, what happens? The capacitor gets charged to the peak voltage BP. So when the rectifier voltage starts decreasing, the capacitor starts discharging through the load resistance, and the voltage across it begins to drop slightly and rise immediately due to this. This is repeated again and again. This unregulated DC supply, regulated using voltage regulator, example using a Zener diode. So it's an unregulated supply. So when load is connected, there is a drop in potential difference, hence it is unregulated. A capacitor filter circuit is widely used because of its low cost, small size, lightweight. It is used for small load current. Example, battery eliminators. So we have seen the application of the forward bias over here in this rectifier. So we'll continue next time. Thank you.